This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Y'all, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Shout out to our hair and makeup team.
They're amazing.
Yes.
They're unbelievable.
it was a circus up here 5 seconds ago.
Yes.
Right.
And they just tight roped it off.
But it's
And they
organized.
zoomed in on Tori.
I know. Why did it go to me? They were mostly helping me. Thank you, guys.
Even our camera guys know what's
He's
up.
like,
Look like a pit crew next to Tori. I think he was trying to roll a tire over here. Yeah, okay.
She's going again.
We're good to go. All right, let's jump right in, guys. A lot of you are talking about this story today, so check this out. Toronto Blue Jays pitcher Anthony Bass is slamming United Airlines after they insisted his pregnant wife clean up after their 2 kids. So Anthony tweeted that a flight attendant made his wife, who was traveling with their 2 and 5-year-olds by herself, quote, get on her hands and knees to pick up the popcorn mess on the floor of the plane. He says United provided the popcorn that they spilled. Country singer Jessie James Decker also weighed in and said her sister was humiliated picking up popcorn while everyone watched. But here's the thing, the response on Twitter was more for the airline, or at least this comment was. One person wrote, airlines are not your children's playground. Pick it up and take responsibility for your kids. Whose side are you on? Because I know whose side I'm on.
I know whose side I'm on, but I don't have children, but I'll just be very quick about it. Like,
You're allowed to respond with stories that you don't
Okay.
have.
Yeah.
Fight.
like, pick up the popcorn. Pick up the popcorn.
Even though she's pregnant.
Pick it up. Is that wrong? I feel very strongly about that. Is not the air stewardess's job if you made a huge mess to
Flight
be
attendant.
your flight attendant, to be your maid, to be at your service. They are there, and if there's bags, they will do it. But to pick up individual things that your children dropped, and you know children can make a big, big mess, I would say that's on you. That's on you.
I am really looking at the other passengers on the plane because, Laura, help me, if I watch a 5.5-month pregnant woman pick on her hands and knees picking up behind her, even though they're her children,
Right.
picking up popcorn, and I don't get up to help.
Right.
Like, I'm looking at everybody else on that plane. You're right, flight attendants are there for security to keep us safe. They're not there to actually clean the plane
Correct.
behind us. And, you know, obviously there has to be some nuance to this conversation, but I'm looking at everybody else. So people were just sitting there staring.
Yeah.
Because that's foul in itself.
Yeah, it's, you know, I feel almost of two minds because, like I've told you, my first job ever, I was a busboy at Embassy Suites for their morning breakfast, and every morning, their families down there with 2-year-olds, then there's Cheerios. So you can do that math. It's just here and then just handfuls. Look how cute he is. She's just throwing everything. And I cleaned that up. The customers did not come with a broom and a dustpan. I have one. That's on me. Did I want to? No. Did I mutter under my breath? Absolutely. But that's kind of what I signed up for. I don't think that this is a normal situation in which flight attendants are asked to clean up regularly, Jeff. So I hate saying I see both sides, but I think in this one, just like pick the popcorn up, or they have cleaning crews that come on.
Yeah. The stewardess, listen, it's not like the stewardess to go get a vacuum.
Flight
There's
attendant.
flight attendant.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's
Yes,
right. Oh, I'm done here.
Even though they are stewards of the plane.
Yeah, thanks for saving me.
Yes.
This will be my last day.
It's been a pleasure.
No, listen, I'm on the pregnant wife side, okay? You're
Right.
pregnant. If I'm next to that woman with 2 kids, okay, I know what it's like traveling with kids, and a pregnant mom, I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. I can't get between those seats. You want a pregnant mom to get on her hands and knees and get down there? How dare you tell her to get down on her hands and knees? You don't tell anybody to do that. You're paying a lot of money for that seat. There's a cleaning crew that comes in and does that. If I'm at a restaurant, I tip more because of my kids. If they spill, I clean up. I'm able to. If my wife's by herself and frustrated and she's got to do this and take her kids, a 2 and a 5-year-old, shame on you to the stewardess that told her to clean it up on her hands and knees. You're pregnant.
I don't know. Like, I do want to know more details. Did she really say, get on your hands and knees and
said,
clean
quote.
up? Okay, I wonder if they said you need to clean that up, and that entailed having to get down or bend down, which is uncomfortable. But that's different than you need to go on your hands and knees as a pregnant woman and pick up that popcorn.
And by the way, if I can't get in there, what's that? Is that just
in the armrest?
Wait, is that the popcorn?
Yeah.
Is this the actual crime scene?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a stock photo. That's it?
That's the crime scene.
Someone could have picked that up. Listen, someone else could have helped out. If I was there and I saw a pregnant mom doing that, I would have definitely, I'd be like, I got it,
For
man.
sure.
Let me clean that up for you. But if a
Flight attendant.
There you go.
if a flight attendant came over and told me to do anything, I would do the opposite.
Right.
Because of how much of a problem the airlines are in themselves. You don't tell me to do anything, okay?
And Jeff, I think you made the point, and you could have stopped right there. When the tickets are expensive, and you're assuming that a cleaning process is included in that flight. So you getting on your hands and knees or bending over or not touching it at all, that's strictly up to your discretion. But I don't think they expect the
Well, the airline also provided the popcorn, okay?
Yeah.
It's not like she stopped and picked up a bag of popcorn and was like, hey, 2-year-old, here, take this popcorn.
Paid for it.
But she's not paying
But I'm saying the popcorn came into play because it was provided by the airline. If you don't want things that are going to be all over the place because there's children flying on your plane, then don't provide it.
Beef jerky.
Beef jerky for everyone.
There we go.
Great smell.
Erica
Great smell.
2024.
Kids love beef jerky.
I love beef jerky.
I love it. All right, good story. I like that one. So Paris Hilton, this story's not so good. Might be a new mom, but she and her husband still make time for each other. Paris and her husband Carter welcomed a son via surrogate. If you remember earlier this year on her podcast, they said they still keep the spark alive by making time for a bubble bath every night. Get real. Have a listen.
Jeff, don't you do this?
The most amazing way since you kissed me that day.
So happy that I did.
And we still kiss a lot, don't we?
Yes.
People don't realize how much we cuddle and kiss. Do you think they do?
I am.
We're like serious cuddling and kissers. That's our
Yeah.
favorite thing.
Too.
We never leave the house. We basically cuddle, kiss, and play with baby P.
Mm-hmm.
The simple
And
life.
bubble baths every night.
Oh, bubble baths every night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're very habitual bubble bath users.
Who is he referring to when he's talking about baby P?
That's it. That's what it sounds like. Maybe that's a rapper. I don't know.
I was thinking something else.
That was the most cringy statement of all.
They do not.
That's
They're
disgusting.
liars.
Maybe they do, but this just came up in Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip because they were talking about how all of these housewives get their husband to do these bathroom scenes where they're taking a bubble bath and they think it's so sexy and makes them look so hip and cool, and it never plays right.
No.
Like, I mean, honestly, people, we really don't need to know. I know you have the baby via surrogacy, but I imagine that there was a lot of practice before that even came into play.
Right, right.
We assume that you are being intimate.
Right.
We assume that most married couples are being intimate. We don't really need to know.
And also,
we don't need to know.
We also don't need to know in like that weird voice. We're gonna take a bath and cuddle. We cuddle a lot.
That's
like everything about it was weird and cringy, and I was hoping we had a bath scene from you, but we probably don't.
I was hoping that too. But can I
We've seen enough.
I think if I hear that any adult has taken more than one bubble bath in 6 months, you are done in terms of credibility with me.
Yeah.
That is the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard. A bubble bath? What are you, 4?
Can we
Take
cuddle?
a
We
shower
cuddle
and
so
go
much.
handle your business and take care of your family. Why do you need to relax that much every night? What are you, a coal miner? Stop it. It's so embarrassing.
I'm with you.
On the coal.
I'm with you.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, we're like in this world of infantilized adults where you're like, oh, Erica can't come. She's covered in suds upstairs. Stop it.
Yeah, this is like the Suzanne Summers, I have sex 3 times
yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
No, you don't take a bubble bath every day. After 3 days in a row, hey, we get to take a bath? No, I have things to do.
Exactly. And now one of those things is now clean the tub again.
Yeah, that is a lot of work. That's why I don't do bubble baths, to the point that my husband's ready to take the bathtub out of the actual
You're just
bathroom.
sitting in your own filth, so I don't like baths in general.
All right, coming up on DBL, Abby Lee Miller tells us about her return to reality TV after Dance Moms. What will she do differently this time? And who will be the final guest on The Late Late Show with James Corden? We're talking about it next.
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm gonna have a conversation about what's happening now.
Those are 2 good stories. My kind of stories today.
Yeah.
It's a weird.
We like the inconsequential stuff.
Yeah. Carter's voice really bothers me. Don't we do that? We do it so much. It just seems really affected. And I know I'm being rude, but they're public figures, so.
Do you think it's because he's with his wife
Yeah.
picking up?
Yeah. I mean, Paris famously talked like that, and now she's better, but like that whole
whole situation.
Now
was
she's
just,
better.
Yeah, she's
Like,
tried.
she got over-
She's tried.
She
said
got over the baby voice.
She
disease.
said that was all a fake and a character, and she's tried, but like, not just you're right, infantilizing that. They sounded like 3-year-olds. It was weird.
very strange.
Really
I don't
weird.
like that.
Big turn off, y'all.
Now, I will say this.
Those are great.
Do you love it?
They're my favorite.
How often do you take a bubble bath, Kelly?
At least once or twice a week.
I don't have kids, y'all.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I have all of the things. Like I have like the
get it
tray
out of the
that
way.
goes
Dude, I
across,
think
but
the
I
bubble-
never,
You know what I
I
mean?
never take
Yeah,
a
because no one wants to eat
I
in
thought
the
that- at first I thought it
bathtub.
was
I don't want
Yeah,
to eat
it
where I
is
can see the
like, when you have a
toilet.
stock
It's the
weird?
cleaning of the bathtub.
Who took that picture?
And then it's like a grape falls in the tub, then you're
I
like,
wasn't talking about eating.
well, the tray is for
Oh, like
eating.
for
What do you think,
wine.
for your laptop? You can't kill yourself. You can't put, you should not have electronics dangling
I
over your
don't take a
bathtub.
lot of baths. I'm a shower girl myself. But yeah, my husband has discussed potentially taking the bathtub out of the bathroom because it takes up the most square foot, and we never use it. But isn't it crazy how when you're like looking for a place, like those are the things you're looking for? Like, oh my gosh, I have to. Well, we need the bathtub. For what? Who's ever the only time our bathtub gets used is when the nieces and nephews are there and they're trying to wash more than one of them at the same time. That's when they put them. They put the sand.
Welcome back. James Corden's final episode of The Late Late Show will air on April 27th, and he revealed his final guests will be Harry Styles and Will Ferrell. That got us thinking about how other late night shows ended their run. So about 80 million people, that is a lot of people if you know television. Watch Johnny Carson's historical final Tonight Show back in 1992. His guests included Robin Williams, Bette Midler, who famously serenaded Johnny on his desk. Arsenio Hall ended his show in 1994 with Whoopi Goldberg and a performance by James Brown. I was going to make a whoop whoop for Whoopi, but it was just in my head, but it didn't work.
Okay.
Maybe next show. All right. Jay Leno ended his run on The Tonight Show the first time in 2009. Then a few months later, he took it back from Conan O'Brien. He left the show for good in 2014 with a tearful goodbye. We don't know who his guests were. In 2015, David Letterman had a star-studded final. Top 10 and included Barbara Walters, Steve Martin, Jerry Seinfeld. That's a star-studded lineup right there.
It is.
It is.
How would you guys end this show?
Well, everybody knocked. We're all knocking on wood. Like,
I think we'd have to go back and maybe get our first guest, whoever that was.
We had Bill Pullman on, I think. Remember in the
He might have been our first in-studio guest. That's a good call.
I think so.
Yeah.
I would be down with the president from Independence Day coming through.
That's very true.
Maybe he gives that speech.
There's something about singing that I would love, like the Bette Midler saying goodbye, like and One for the Road for Johnny was really beautiful. So I would do a singing. I would have Barbara Streisand.
This might
you're gonna get Barbara Streisand.
Babs.
Okay.
Yeah.
This might be too inside baseball for our viewers out there, but I'd have some Irish tap dancers. You guys remember them?
Oh yeah.
I'd have
We
them.
had them
I'd have a llama in here. I'd have a llama
birthday
in
llama.
here. Yeah, birthday
And Jeff,
llama.
explain to everybody who, because we're just talking with ourselves.
And that's why I just said it's a little inside baseball.
watch the social.
So we had Irish tap dancers come in here and they scuffed up the whole floor, but it's beautiful. And for some reason they had a llama come in on my no, it was Jordan's birthday. And made absolutely no sense.
And there was already a llama on site for something totally
And they hand me each, and they go, "This is Tomasito,
Right.
and we want you to take it to Jeff."
Bring the llama into the studio, and it's at the big wall. And Jeff and I are doing a segment together, and Jeff goes, "Why is there a llama here?" And I had nothing, so I was like, "It's for your wife's birthday." Jeff goes, "What?"
It made a huge mess backstage, too.
We'd have to wrap the whole thing up with Jeff and I dancing to Through the Decades.
There you go. We close with that.
Reluctantly.
Tori in her scuba outfit from season 1 and Al with his tiger shirt.
Oh, yes.
That's our final show. Coming up on DBL. Our interview with Abby Lee Miller. She's telling us about her new dancing reality show. That's next. You think anybody got what we were talking about?
It's for your...
Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is under fire after an investigation revealed he's accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gifts from a Republican donor. But is that actually against the rules? Verify viewer Peggy wanted to know, is there any law banning Supreme Court justices from accepting certain gifts? So let's verify. Our sources, the U.S. Code, the Judicial Conference of the United States, and Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts. There is a law that restricts what gifts federal workers can accept, and it applies to judicial officers. That includes Supreme Court justices. It says they can't take gifts from anyone who could benefit from their job. But more context is needed. The law doesn't provide details on what sort of gifts are allowed. It leaves defining the rules as well as actually enforcing them up to individual ethics offices. For instance, the Department of Justice has a departmental ethics office, and the U.S. Senate has an ethics committee, both of which have detailed gift policies and investigate any violations. But the Supreme Court doesn't have an ethics office. The closest thing is the Judicial Conference of the United States, which has a detailed gift policy for federal judges. But the conference has no authority over SCOTUS. In 2011, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote that the members of the Supreme Court do consult that policy, but also made it clear they aren't bound to it. That means there is no binding gift policy for justices. Furthermore, unlike some other laws where if you break them, there are criminal or civil penalties, the federal gift law doesn't spell out any specific punishments for violating it. Again, it leaves that up to ethics offices, which again, the Supreme Court doesn't have. So, while Clarence Thomas might have broken federal gift law, there would be no way to enforce it. The only recourse would be impeachment by Congress, but that's unlikely with a Republican majority in the House. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Welcome back to DBL. She's the dance instructor watched by millions every week on Dance Moms. Now Abby Lee Miller is returning to reality TV. We spoke with her earlier. Let's take a look.
Abby, we have to settle something. There's some drama that I like to say started brewing late last week. You recently revealed that you messaged fellow reality star Todd Chrisley before he went to prison. And now his daughter Lindsay is calling you out on your public comments. Let's listen to what she said on her podcast, and then I'm going to give you the floor.
She aired what she claimed was private communications with my dad, and I feel like it's inappropriate, unethical, and frankly just a betrayal. She has a project coming out, wanted to use the downfall of someone else to gain press for her project, and I can confidently assure you that there is no concern about towels or soap regarding my dad. I would like to encourage her to spend her time giving back to the community and stop spewing the nonsense that just makes her truly look uneducated and thirsty for headlines.
Abby, you have the floor. Tell us what's your response.
As far as private messages, I only elaborated on what I DM'd Todd, not what he said back to me. Mm-hmm. I was telling him some things. That was it.
There you go.
That was it. I was asked those questions, so I answered them. It wasn't like I just went out there and trumped up all this, publicity. That's not the case. I was asked. But I am giving back to the community. I'm involved with Katarina's Club.
I think that's wonderful. Let's get back to dancing for a second if we can. In a recent video, you said you've never cheated in a dance competition, but you've seen others cheat. So what have you seen? How do you cheat in a dance competition?
You change the ages of the students on stage. So when they're older and presumably better, that's not always the case though, and you change their age to be younger. So when you enter them, they're in the 9-10 category, but if you really add up all their ages, they come out to like 11.5. So they should be in the 11-12 category.
Scoundrels.
Tricky. All right, so you recently teased that something big is coming. Can you elaborate to our DBL Nation?
Well, first there's a new podcast coming out, Leave It on the Dance Floor, whoop whoop, and a new show. So, Dance Momster?
So a dance momster, like mean dance moms, maybe.
All right, so how is this going to be? How is this one different this time around?
Well, I'm in charge, number one. It's a lot of the same familiarity that is in dance competitions, in dance training. There's not the same premise or the same format or anything like that. It's new. There's new concepts. There's a lot of things that happened at my studio in Pittsburgh many years ago that I shared with the producers of the old show, and they didn't want anything to do with, somebody's mom making out with somebody else's dad behind the building.
What? That's what was happening behind the scenes?
Yes.
What?
And they really didn't want any part of that. And there's some real honest to God truth things that happened. And the kids that were on the show are now 16 to, let's say, 22, 23 years old. So we're going to have that age range too. You're going to see some familiar faces and also some kids on the cusp of trying to make it professionally, trying to, work in this world. Being an amazing dancer and winning trophies at a competition is one thing. Being a successful, employable, working dancer is quite another. So I'm going to be going head to head with those kids without their mothers.
Oh,
all right. Well,
without the moms.
We appreciate you being back here. And the first time you were here, you were talking about the nonprofit Katarina's Club. So tell us, what have you learned about hunger in America since you were last here and since teaming up with them?
Wow, it just goes on and on and on. And since the pandemic, quarantine, that has all pretty much ended, the need for food is even greater than it ever was. I just don't like to see children hungry. I mean, I deal with kids who have 50 different color leotards and a dance bag that's worth $10,000, worth of shoes and tights and this and that. And here these kids don't have clothes to go to school.
Good for you. DBL Nation, Abby's new podcast is out in June. It's called Leave It on the Dance Floor.
That's my motto.
Really important, visit katarinasclub.org. A $5 donation can feed a family of 4. Wow. Thank you, Abby. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Nobody wants to pay more in taxes than they have to. That's also the case with the act of filing your taxes. Many companies say they offer free filings, only to later charge a fee. Some social media users complain they hide the completely free options. So let's verify. Can you file your federal income taxes for free? Our sources are the Free File Alliance, the Internal Revenue Service, AARP, and Cash App. The short answer is yes, but how easy that is depends on your income and some other factors. If your household has an adjusted gross income of less than $73,000, then you have the most options when it comes to filing for free. The easiest way is through a partnership between the IRS and the Free File Alliance, a nonprofit coalition of tax software companies that offer their prep services free of charge to eligible Americans. What if your household earns more than $73,000? If you're a senior, then AARP and the IRS have programs to help, regardless of your income. There's also Cash App Taxes, which allows almost everyone to use their software for free. Everyone can also e-file their federal taxes for free through the IRS's website, but you'll have to do most of the calculations yourself. Instead, the IRS offers fillable forms that only do basic math calculations. So, it's true. Most people can file their federal taxes for free, if you're willing to jump through a few hoops. Many of the Free File Alliance companies will also offer to do your state taxes for free if you also file your federal taxes with them, as will Cash App Taxes. Otherwise, many states have free fillable electronic forms, just like the IRS. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Are you skeptical of headlines and what you see on social media? We are too. The Verify newsletter answers your questions, clarifies what's true and false, and even includes a daily fun fact. Go to verifythis.com/email to check it out.
On April 10th, a man shot and killed 5 people at a Louisville bank. Police seized the alleged shooter's gun as evidence, but some people on social media say the rifle will eventually be auctioned off to the public. So let's verify. Does Kentucky law require guns used in crimes like mass shootings to be sold at auction? Our sources are Kentucky State Law, Kentucky State Police, and the City of Louisville. When police seize guns or ammunition in Kentucky, it's held as evidence until the case is over. Stolen guns are then returned to the owner if they're legally allowed to own a firearm. Guns that can't be returned are turned over to the Kentucky State Police. Most are sold at auction, although there is an exception that allows troopers to keep firearms for official use. Proceeds from auctions are used to buy body armor, guns, ammunition, and equipment for officers. So, yes, Kentucky law does require guns used in crimes like mass shootings to be sold at auction. Kentucky State Police wouldn't answer specific questions about whether the rifle used in the Old National Bank shooting will be sold at auction, but told Verify the agency is required to comply with state laws as they are passed. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. We've got some amazing products from our friends at, I said it like a radio announcer, our friends at Side Deal. Check them out.
Steph, I am in the mood to shop. Show me what you got.
Oh, Tori, get ready, be excited. DBL Nation, I'm going to show you some fantastic deals. And trust me, you're going to want to get out your wallet for these. These are fantastic. Here is the Anchor Mag Go magnetic 2-in-1 wireless charger for iPhone and AirPods.
Oh.
So this deal includes one charger, one USB-C charger, and one charging cable. Normally it's $80, but we've got it for $34.99.
Thank you.
So that's saving everyone 56%. Now this I love. It's the 9-pack Pancakes stickable, reusable cold packs.
Whoa.
These are so fancy. So this still includes one large wrap, 2 large packs, and 6 mini packs.
Okay.
So normally this is $62, but we've got it for $19.99. So that's saving 68%. Now check out this. We've got the 6-pack Comfort Republic Bamboo briefs and trunks. So this deal includes 6 briefs or trunks available in sizes small to 6XL. So normally they are $113 to $125, but we've got a 6-pack for just $24. So that's saving up to 81%. Now check out this, Tori. This is so lovely. It is the 2-pack Peach Leaf 2-in-1 weighted 6-pound lap pad pillow. So this deal includes 2 lap pad blanket pillows. And normally they're $110 each, but we've got a 2-pack for $39.99, so that's saving up to 82%.
Head on over to sidedeal.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit sidedeal.com right on your smartphone. Steph, as always, thank you so much. These are great.
So a weighted pillow, huh? But I guess you put the blankets in the pillow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't tried it yet.
Have you ever
Erica's
used
I
a
love
blanket?
a weighted blanket.
Erica
yes.
loves it.
I can't
You
sleep
put me
without
on
it.
those.
How about in
Yeah.
the summertime? Does it keep you cool?
Well, I have an Ooler.
Oh, Jeff,
that
why did you
makes it cool.
You know
There we
she's
go.
a
I'm a professional sleeper.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We're not professionals.